What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dummy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video, and today we got something very interesting to go over because we're talking about some weird psychotic game journalists that I guess nobody really knew about, and myself included, that has said some pretty insane and wacky things. Now, we'll come over here to their particular YouTube channel just to get you guys an idea of who they are. They're called People Make Games, and I've been looking over their thumbnails and titles of videos, and yeah, they seem kind of cringe, but they're successful. I mean, they have 537,000 subscribers, good video viewership numbers, like people are watching it. But the thing is though, they have a video from a year ago called "What's It Really Like Working at Valve?" And again, this video is from a year ago. Its like to dislike ratio isn't fantastic, but it isn't awful at the same time. It's been viewed by 551,000 viewers, and the real takeaway from this video is actually this clip that's going around right now, thanks to Asmongold. So we're going to react to this. I've only seen the very end of this, thanks to Asmongold, and I've only seen the very beginning of this, again, thanks to Asmongold. I don't know what's going to be said here, to be quite honest with you. I get the general idea, mainly because it's called Valve has a diversity crisis. So we got that to look forward to, but let's see what this guy has to say in the 6-minute and 27-second clip, shall we?
I can't tell you how many women work at Valve, or people of colour, or non-binary folks, or those who identify as LGBTQ, or disabled people, because, well, Valve is a private company. And
why do you care? Seriously, why do you care? Why do you care about all these groups of people? What does it matter? What does the purpose of this information matter to you with Valve and Steam? What is the purpose here? I already out the gate, I don't even know what the heck this dude's talking about because this sounds insane.
It doesn't need to disclose those numbers, and also it didn't respond to our own requests.
Well, okay, yeah, it's a private company. It doesn't need to disclose those numbers. It never needs to disclose those numbers. Companies don't really need to disclose those numbers because it's idiotic to think that they need to disclose these numbers. But why do you care? Seriously, why do these people care about this stuff? And I'm only 15 seconds in, but why do you care so much about this nonsense? There's no rhyme or reason. It's just you bullying people, saying we don't have enough of this group in here, so you need to hire them, or and if you don't hire them, you're a bigot.
For those figures. However, multiple interviewees that we spoke to described the company as having an enormous lack of diversity, even by games industry standards. Valve is, I'm told, extremely white and extremely male.
Why is that a problem? Seriously, why is that a problem? Because if we actually start doing demographic breakdowns of who plays games and what industry actually is dominated by what industry, yeah, men play games. And where is Valve actually even located, to be quite honest with you? Bellevue, Washington. Well, that's very interesting. I mean, Washington State is already super progressive as it is, so that is interesting to see that they don't have very diverse individuals working there, but it kind of more seems like you're just trying to bully them into actually hiring more diverse individuals and people like that. But let's keep seeing what you have to say, shall we?
I feel like they've passed a critical mark. It used to be that there were maybe 10 or 15% women in the development teams, so nobody was usually the only woman in the room. But definitely now, I think they've dipped below that point.
Valve's structure is what makes it difficult to gain momentum on anything where the value add isn't immediately obvious to certain people, though. And that certainly includes any project where the word diversity is mentioned.
A lot of contractors are female. That's...
Wait. I'm sorry, I got taken back. I'll pull it back a little bit, but... So you mean they have a problem with people bringing up the words diversity in jobs? So what I took from there is, okay, so there's a project going on over at Valve, and they end up not really moving forward anytime diversity gets brought up. Yeah, because the people that ever want to bring up the word diversity are people that don't actually want to do work. There are people that just want to virtue signal the entire time and push ideological BS on everybody. Yeah, no wonder it stops actually functioning, because they don't want to deal with that. They actually want to produce content. They actually want to make games, and they actually want to develop good systems here. They don't want to sit down and talk about, okay, well, Susie sleeps with Stan, and Billy over there is actually black. Oh, and by the way, Chantal over there is he identifies as non-binary, but he goes by he, they pronouns. Yeah, nobody wants to sit there and do that, okay? In a business, you're there to work. Them actually trying to work isn't a problem, and that's all I'm seeing here is you're griping that they actually want to work. But again, let's try to see what else gets said here.
It's not very unusual. The lower down the ladder you go, the more quote-unquote diverse it becomes. And the higher up you go, the whiter and male it becomes.
I don't believe that the higher up you go, the whiter it becomes. I think that's a bunch of bull crap. But do we really want to get down into why on these stacks men become more and more at the top as you steadily start to get up there? Do we really want to talk about this? You know, the idea of pregnancy, the inability to actually work, all these days you get off. Do we really want to be discussing this data? Because if we do, hard truths are there. Men are more career oriented. Men are more designed to be broaching these things. And yes, as you get higher and higher up within these corporate industries, you see more men at the top, because guess what? They're usually more focused in on getting the job done, getting results, making sure efficiency matters, and to be perfectly honest with you, a little bit more ruthless. That's not saying that men are bad. That just means that they're more driven to get the job done, because men are the people that do this stuff. That's not really a shocker. And again, this seems more like a bunch of cry bullies trying to come out here and say, well, Valve needs to bend to our way of life. Yeah, no, they don't have to do anything.
While I was there was never more than one female programmer at the company.
So
again, men are predominantly within these engineering roles. There's not a whole lot of women within these engineering roles. So if you're going to have a problem with that, take that up with your own gender. I'm sorry to say this. Women, on average, aren't within these industries. That's not to say that there aren't women programmers, but it's not a field dominated by women. It's primarily dominated by men. So, okay, get over yourself. People aren't going to go out their way to hire a bunch of people if they're not even in that industry to begin with. But let's see what this soy boy has to say, shall we?
So what's going on here exactly? What is it about Valve that makes this problem even worse than at similar-sized games companies? Well, let's start here. As Valve states in its own handbook, it's not good at mentoring people. Nor does Valve have an internship program or a college graduate pipeline.
Because it doesn't need to. Valve is there to produce results. And they don't need to internship you. They don't need to train you. And they don't need a mentoring program. They want to hire the best of the best and the cream of the crop. That way they can actually get results, and that way they can become better. They don't need to go out there and do any of this stuff. Okay? What's the big deal? This is what business is. They're actually conducting business. If I find out, okay, I'm just going to watch a little bit more of this, because this is just boiling down to we're angry that Valve's successful because they're successful and they want to hire good workers. If you get hired by them, no, actually, the more I think about this, by this standard, the fact that you're seeing any women in this industry working at Valve, the fact that you're seeing any of these people that you're complaining about being there, means that you actually achieved something, means that you actually did something good. Because the fact that they don't have these mentorship programs or these internships or any of these special things to try to make people better, and that they actually just want to hire competent employees out the gate, that tells you that you're already competent enough. But if you're not moving up, that means you're not doing what it is that they want you to do. So, okay, you're already brought into the Grand Castle, and instead of actually applying yourself and trying to further yourself along within the industry, you're just saying, no, I don't want to keep going. This is all on your own fault. This is entitlement at its peak. Holy crap, this is just entitlement. Why aren't you helping out all these little people? Well, we don't have to. We actually want to try to do results.
And that's by design, because remember, its ideal candidate is a high-powered, self-directed, senior decision maker.
Like every job. Like every job that existed Before this point, every company wanted people like this before this woke ideology started seeping in and everybody had to cater to the smallest minority individual. We all have to cater to the trans, paraplegic, black person who's also a non-binary and identifies as a lesbian. We have to cater to that person. But back then, where Valve comes from and the ideas that Valve has is, hey, we want competent employees to do the job. We hire you for job, you do job. That's it. We shouldn't have to hold your hand all day and make sure that you go through all these special needs programs. I mean, do I actually really need to pull up all these life as a coder, life working at Google, all these videos that were coming out a few years ago of all these tech industry weirdos that don't even work all day and just go to frickin' daycare, basically, as they say, my job's very hard because I had to get on this video meeting and do all this stuff. Well, they get paid oodles amount of money, and a guy who actually works a hard day's work as a truck driver, for crying out loud, doesn't get any of the benefits they do. Do we really want to pull that crap up? No, because Valve right now is just trying to do a good job. They're solely focused in on doing a good job, providing a good product, providing good games. That's all they care about. And if you're going to complain about that, you're just an entitled loser.
By its own admission, Valve only hires senior people. That compounds the issue, because part of making any field more diverse is that you have to start introducing diversity into it.
Again, their goal is to provide a good product. And all this is boiling down to, the more I watch about this, is entitlement. They want senior people. They want people that already know how to do the job and to do the job well. They want to apply themselves. They want to actually have success here. So they're only going out for the best of the best and the cream of the crop. Your whole thing here is, well, they shouldn't be doing that. They should be hiring the lower level people and then building them up. No, this is a business. This is cutthroat. This is actual work. This is what we used to do. This is what every industry used to be built around. Is, hey, if you do the job, you get promoted. If you don't do the job, you have to go work over at Love's for a little while at the truck stop because guess what? You're a crappy employee.
Valve's not going to be one of the places that helps in that, because it doesn't hire junior people, which means your pool of diverse hires is even smaller to begin with, and it's going to be so much harder to hire someone who is a woman, or isn't white, or any of the things that isn't your average Valve employee profile.
I think that says more about you than anything else, because if you're saying that, well, they're not hiring a bunch of women or anything like that, I think that's you basically saying that if you're a woman, if you're black, if you're a minority, if you're gay, you're not valuable. This is coming off extremely racist just from the other side. Extremely bigoted, basically saying that all of you people aren't even competent enough to work there. Valve wants the best of the best. And you're coming off, again, I'm only 2 minutes into this frickin' 6-minute video. I don't know how much more I can watch this. You're coming off basically saying, hey, all of you people, all you minority groups, women, LGBT, whatever, trans, black, brown, whatever, you're not good enough. You're incompetent. You're never going to be these senior people. And Valve doesn't want you because of all this, because you're not good enough. Because that's what this is saying. This is acting like some of the most cringiest, bigoted stuff I've ever heard. Valve wants the best of the best. And you're basically saying, all these people, they're not the best of the best. They're never going to be the best of the best. So we have to try to prop them up because they're never going to be the best of the best. Why can't they be the best of the best? Why can't they? Seriously, tell me, why can't they be the best of the best? Because from what you're saying is they're hiring women, they're hiring brown people, they're hiring gays. They're already doing this. They just want good employees. They just want strong employees. They just want capable employees. But you're basically saying all these groups aren't capable and actually need to be propped up because they're already incompetent on their own. That's how this is all coming out. No wonder this is going around, because this is sounding insane to me.
There have been efforts made over the years by various employees who've pushed to make Valve more representative of the world around it. However, I'm told these efforts are largely blocked by either the company's structure or its leadership.
Again, I don't know how much more I can listen to this, because this is insane. I'm telling you. Because again, your standards here, okay, you've already laid out, and I've been repeating myself. Valve has a high bar to even get into the door. Okay? They want senior employees that can actually do the job. And what you're saying is that the minority groups, you know, the people that all these wokies like to cater to, they're not good enough to get in the door and they'll never be good enough. So you have to prop them up. Why not just try to foster a good work ethic? Why not actually try to foster this idea of, hey, be a good employee, actually work to achieve this goal? And if, I swear to God, if people try to say systemic racism, bigotry, systemic this, systemic that, blah, 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 access to limited resources, figure it out. I'm sorry, this is one of those times where you do have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and figure it out. If you want to get into this company, you actually have to be good. You already laid out that, hey, they have black people, they have women, they have gays, they have all this stuff. They just don't have a whole lot of it. And every time they try to do this stuff, it gets blocked because, well, guess what? It kind of sounds like they keep bringing in people that aren't capable of doing the job. And instead of doing this, they fire them and say, okay, we're going to move on because we want people that can actually do the job. This is what this is coming off as. This is coming off extremely bigoted on your own end. This is coming off extremely entitled. And this is acting like you guys know what's best for this company. And instead of hiring the best of the best of the best, you want Valve to bend over backwards to hire incompetent employees just for the sake that they're black, brown, gay, woman, trans, whatever. This is what this is coming off as. Valve has standards. They want you to achieve these standards. They want you to go about these standards. And because of that, a certain group of individual is more than likely going to be within the industry and working out Valve. Where you're saying, don't hire the best of the best of the best. Hire subpar employees just for the sake of their identity. That's crap. That's total incompetency. And that is what has led us to this point in the gaming industry, where Ubisoft is on the verge of bankruptcy, where companies are having failures after failures within the gaming industry. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, Tales of Kanzara, all this woke bullcrap that focuses in on this small identity, and all the failures that have come because of that is all due to this ideology that you yourself are pressing right now. Valve is successful because they're not doing what it is that you want them to do. And guess what? They're going to keep not doing what it is they want you to do because they like making money and being successful and being one of the top gaming systems in the world right now. I don't even think I can get through much more of this because this video is already going to be 20 minutes as it is. And this is just insanity. It's just the same garbage spewed over and over and over again. Minority people aren't capable to get the top of the top, according to this dum-dum. And Valve needs to lesser its standards because they should allow the black people in. That's what this guy's basically saying. Valve is successful because they want competent employees. That's the end of it. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.